Welcome back. My name is Steve Luchon. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction video, but the reaction video I'm doing is actually of myself. It's a video that was filmed of me back in 2016 at Gilboa Quarry during my Advanced Open Water checkout dives. I'm warning you, I was an absolute noob, so please be nice. I'm doing this so we can learn from it together, and honestly, so people understand that some people are born with talent, other people work towards it and hone their skill, and that's exactly what I did. Diving really did not come easy to me, and I don't think I was anywhere near a natural. I can tell you that right now. All right, without further ado, let's get started. So that's me at the top left. My brother is the one filming. At this point, he was an advanced open water diver, certified with nitrox. And that was the certification I was going for on these dives here. I was wearing a 7mm Farmer John, that's me and the skinny little legs there. Wearing the wrong fins. I got a snorkel on there, hoses are all over the place. I had my Wisdom 3 dive computer. Oh boy, here's the tubes. We were told about these tubes for weeks, and we were told how deep they were, 65 feet. By the way, that's a dive master up top there, touching the tubes. And I remember being so nervous to get to this depth, and I was told how cold it was. Oh man, flailing my arms around and no trim. I didn't know what a fin kick was, never mind a frog kick. I had no clue what I was doing here. I remember breathing so heavy, I was so cold and nervous. I just didn't want to mess up. I ended up putting my knees on the top of that tube, and I just kind of sat there for a minute, regained my composure and tried getting my breathing under control. My brother, he told me, he said, Steve. I remember turning around and my instructor handed me that laminated piece of paper with a math question on it. And you see that confused look? Yeah. I just sat there and I looked at this math question, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. I just thought to myself, if I don't get this, I'm gonna fail. I just thought at every moment I was gonna do something that was gonna make me fail. Comment below, were you nervous when you did your open water and advanced open water? Maybe you did fail. Let me know. And by the way, maybe you have some footage of yourself just starting out, maybe some pictures that you'd like to share with us. You can email me at any time at info@divecurrent.com, or you can comment below. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know. I'd love to watch it. You can like me on Facebook, by the way. There's me. I'm still on the tubes. Still looking at that stupid math question. I was so frustrated with myself. I'm like, why can't you get this? Oh boy, I forgot about this. That's right. So my brother brought a scooter. My brother was not a student during this. My brother was there for moral support, so he was just a regular diver in the water. So he brought his scooter and he handed it to me and let me try it out. I do not recommend this for an open water diver. Comment below, you instructors, do you think that this was a bad idea? I think it probably was. Things could have gone wrong very quickly. But I remember looking at this white fish, this trout, and thinking to myself, like, what in the world? I never seen anything like that underwater. I remember this moment. I remember the feelings. This is where I fell in love with diving for the first time. This was the first time I actually had fun, and it wasn't strenuous, something wasn't going wrong. I was just having a good time. I was spending this with my brother. It was just a good day. I get a little emotional watching this. I remember he was showing off here doing flips. I thought to myself, I could do that. How hard could it be? Maybe you're not a diver. Maybe you're watching this and you know what? It's one of the greatest sports ever. We were told by the dive master there, one of the DMs, that it's time to do our skills. So we were doing our rescue diver skills. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was the first victim. I do believe that's me down there in the yellow tank. My brother's up top filming. I was so scared because the instructor told us how dangerous it could be if you overinflate your buddy's BC and send him rocketing to the surface. So I was scared to death that my dive buddy here was going to do that to me. So I had to trust him. That wasn't easy. But he did a pretty good job. He got me up there slow and steady. By the way, if you haven't done so already and you find this video to be interesting, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell. And thank you in advance. I remember feeling so relaxed at this point. They took my gear off, and then it was my turn to bring my buddy up. Again, so scared that I was going to mess something up, that I was going to fail. I wanted to do this so bad. Both of my brothers were certified at this time. So I think I wanted to prove it to myself and to them, maybe, I don't know. But it was during this dive, it became not about proving to them. I remember it changed. All of a sudden, I was proving to myself, I can do this. I remember I wasn't inflating his BC and we weren't going anywhere. Then all of a sudden I figured it out. And I was so scared not to shoot him to that surface that I was going a little bit too slow. I remember my instructor telling me that afterwards, I believe. After this, we did our navigation skills. Completely bombed that, messed it up horrible. Had to redo it. But we were done, and this was my official fun dive right now. And I remember this moment. I could actually look around in the quarry and notice the airplane and the helicopter and all the fish, and I started seeing things and realizing how beautiful this place was and how I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. I remember watching him go into the airplane. I'm like, we're not going in there, are we? Comment below, would you let your students go into an overhead environment, even in a quarry, on their first fun dive? Some would. And that's okay. It's my first selfie underwater. The first of many. I just remember looking at the bubbles and thinking, how beautiful is this? This was also the first time I peed in my wetsuit, by the way. It was actually through that plane in that moment. A little factoid you didn't probably need to know. So this was going to be my first time going through the helicopter, and I did it with a scooter. I was so nervous. I thought I was going to like break something and get stuck or smack the top or the bottom, look like a fool. Definitely think I looked like a fool, and you'll see here in a minute. I remember what I looked like in this. I think I was pretty knee heavy. We'll see. I had no spatial awareness. I had no idea, like, oh my soul, my legs, what am I doing? That's embarrassing. But you know what? I didn't know better. I had no idea. I thought I looked good. I remember thinking to myself, don't mess this up, don't mess this up, don't mess this up, don't look stupid. I was afraid I was gonna hit my tank on the top, and I didn't. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I got this. I have arrived. Scuba Steve has arrived. I'm so glad my brother filmed this. I forgot all about this until earlier today. I was going through my old channel and I saw it. I'm like, man, this is cool. I've got to do a reaction video. I'm glad I'm doing this with you guys today. And if you really don't like it, who cares? This is more for me then. I got to call him after this video is done and just tell him that I did a reaction to the first video he filmed of me underwater. I remember seeing all these fish in this moment and thinking to myself, what in the world? I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that many fish underwater, ever, not in my life. And they call that the fish tornado. And they thought he was going to feed them at this point. So they just swarmed them. Comment below, have you been to Gilboa? Have you seen the trout? Maybe you've been bit by one. They bite your ears. You can actually bleed. There's me holding on to my dive computer. I held on to that thing for dear life. I thought that if I didn't see my air at every second of that dive, I was going to run out and die. Doing his flips and showing off. I believe I'm going to try to attempt a flip. I think right now. All right, let's see how this goes. He grabs the camera. All right. I think he knows this isn't going to go well. Where am I? There I am. Whoa. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. First attempt, doing a flip with a scooter underwater. Oh, I kind of did it. I don't know, comment below, what do you think? Oh, wow. I remember thinking, nailed it! Such a special moment for me. You hear that noise? So I had something that got stuck in his scooter. He had to pull out. I forget what it was. It might have been that piece of paper, I forget. Oh wow, yeah. So these are still there. Comment below, have you swam through the tires at Gilboa? They're set there so we can practice our trim and our buoyancy, our spatial awareness, knowing where we are in the water column. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I attempt these. I don't know how I did. I remember seeing these trees for the first time and it was so surreal. It was like otherworldly. I'd never seen anything like this. And at this point, I didn't know the history or the story behind the quarry at all. So I wanted to ask so many questions when I got out of the water, and I think I did. Found out it's a limestone quarry. It's been filled with water for well over 20 years at this point. This is a funny thing. It was this day I got out of the water and I thought to myself, I want to dive here all the time. I want to be part of this community, whatever it is. I didn't even know what a dive community was. I remember thinking to myself, I got to be part of this somehow. And I thought, maybe one day I'll help them with their website or their Facebook page. I honestly thought that this day, coming out of the water. And lo and behold, quite a few years later, I was doing their website, I was doing their Facebook page, and that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, I made it through and I didn't hit the tires. Little pat in my back there. I still look really funny going through it though. It's so funny, I had no idea how to do a fin kick. I just had no idea. There was times where I'd do this weird bicycle kick. I always felt like I was knee heavy, like I was gonna drop. I remember somebody telling me that my trim was horrible. For the first time, I really didn't know, because I didn't know what trim was. I was so embarrassed because I remember looking back at this video and thinking like, oh wow, yeah, I didn't look good. I did get made fun of for this. I think at this, I ended up getting like 700, 800 views on this pretty quickly. And I remember deleting comments because I was so embarrassed. People were making fun of me because I just looked horrible. That was discouraging. It's probably where my hate for scuba bullies started coming up, was after this was filmed and after I posted it. My brother was very encouraging. My instructor was very encouraging. I remember this day, I got out of the water to go get an air fill, and I met Mike Williams, the owner of the quarry, for the first time, and the compressor was broken. I'll never forget that. And there was a group of people that were getting all mad because their tanks weren't getting filled as fast as they wanted. And Mike was running around like a crazy person trying to get all this done. And I remember just starting to hand him tanks. Instead of getting mad, I figured, you know what, let me help him. And I just handed him tanks, and I did that for probably 15, 20 minutes. And then once we were done with that, I remember he just kind of like took a deep breath and introduced himself, and I introduced myself. And that was my first introduction to the owner of the quarry at this time. I actually struck up a friendship with him, and that's why years later I was able to do the website for him. Where other people were getting mad and ticked off, I jumped in and tried helping where I could. And that's been my motto, right? Or that's been my way of doing things, is trying to encourage people and help people instead of just criticize. You know, maybe we can do something about it and grow and be better. I remember my brother, watching him try to do a fin kick there, a frog kick, and he did okay, but I remember watching him thinking to myself, like, wow, that's so good. He was a lot better than I was. It's just weird looking back at it now and seeing flaws even in what he's doing here. Anyway, what do you think, guys? Comment below. I know it's a little bit of a different type of reaction video, nothing exciting happening here, just kind of reminiscing, going over feelings and memories. It's like yesterday though. I remember these dives. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I think we'll end it here. Leave me a comment. Did you enjoy this? If you did, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that bell for future notifications. You be safe. My name's Steve Lucian, and I'll see you in the water.